What if I told you that the single greatest power you will ever possess is already within you right now, and that by mastering this power, you will command every success you seek, shape every fortune you desire, and break every chain that binds your potential? This power is your mind. Make no mistake, mastering your mind is not a trivial pursuit. It is the most challenging conquest you will face, the greatest battlefield on which the war for your destiny is fought. Yet, it is also the only true path to unstoppable success. Without it, all the external strategies, plans, and opportunities you chase will dissolve into dust beneath the winds of emotional chaos and mental distraction. You stand at a crossroads. One path leads to a life ruled by reaction, driven by emotions that cloud judgment and scatter your energies like wildfire. The other path is guarded by discipline, forged through emotional detachment and paved with deliberate, powerful thought. The choice is yours, and the decision you make now will echo through every moment of your future. Why is this mastery so rare? Because most men and women live at the mercy of their feelings. They allow the tempests of anger, fear, envy, and doubt to govern their every decision. Their minds are crowded with conflicting thoughts. The need for approval shackles their will, and their actions are the mere puppetry of uncontrolled impulses. But you are not destined to be ordinary. You are here because you seek more, because you understand that to command your outer world, you must first command your inner world. I will now reveal to you 5 powerful steps, timeless principles that, when followed without deviation, will teach you to control your mind starting today. These steps are not theories, but laws of success proven through the ages and validated by every master of achievement. They are definiteness of purpose, the lamp that illuminates your mind's path and anchors your focus. Self-discipline, the iron will that shapes your mind and tames your emotions. Autosuggestion, the mechanism by which your conscious mind impresses purpose and power upon your subconscious. Mastery over emotion, the art of detachment, transforming feelings from tyrants into allies. Accurate thinking, the rigorous examination and control of your thoughts to align with truth and purpose. Let us begin with the foundation upon which all else rests, definiteness of purpose. Without a clear, unwavering purpose, the mind drifts like a rudderless ship, vulnerable to every passing storm. It is this definiteness, the precise and burning clarity of what you intend to accomplish, that acts as the lodestar of your mental discipline. When your purpose is definite, your mind no longer wavers. It no longer entertains every distracting impulse or external opinion. Instead, it becomes a fortress of focus, impervious to the chaos of competing desires and the siren calls of emotional reactivity. Understand this truth. The purpose you declare and hold with absolute conviction sets the very frequency of your mind. Your thoughts will align, your emotions will steady, and your actions will become purposeful. The failure to grasp definiteness of purpose is the root cause of mental chaos. Many live with vague ambitions, drifting between desires and doubts, never commanding their mind but forever led by it. Their energies scatter, their will weakens, and their dreams fade. But when you claim a definite purpose, you ignite a fire within that burns away uncertainty and fear. It is the first command you give to your mind, and your mind obeys. Next, you must forge self-discipline, the steel backbone of mental control. Self-discipline is the daily practice of governing your thoughts and emotions, refusing the temptations that distract, and persisting in the face of resistance. It is the sovereign law by which your mind is ruled. Without self-discipline, the mind remains a wild stallion, beautiful but uncontrollable, subject to every whim of passing emotions. With it, the mind becomes a noble charger, carrying you steadily toward your goals, unshaken by every obstacle. Self-discipline is not a gift. It is a habit. It is built one moment, one choice at a time. It is in the decision to silence the reactive voice of fear and doubt, and instead to speak with the quiet authority of reason and purpose. Remember, the person who masters self-discipline commands their destiny. The third step is autosuggestion, the powerful tool by which your conscious will impresses upon your subconscious mind the thoughts and beliefs that will govern your actions. Your subconscious is the fertile soil of your mind, ever ready to grow the seeds you plant. If you allow it to be sown with doubt, fear, or confusion, it will yield poverty and failure. But if you carefully plant the seeds of definiteness, confidence, and persistence, your subconscious mind will nurture these thoughts into unstoppable habits and realities. Autosuggestion is the practice of deliberate repetition, affirming with conviction the truths you wish to embody. It is not mere wishful thinking, but an active, commanding process. Repeat to yourself, I am calm, I am focused, I am relentless in pursuit of my purpose. Repeat it until these words become your nature and your mind obeys. Step 4 is the mastery that will free you from the tyranny of your feelings, mastery over emotion. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood as coldness or indifference. It is neither. It is the power to observe your emotions without being controlled by them, to respond with clarity rather than react with chaos. Emotions, when uncontrolled, are like wildfires, destructive and indiscriminate. But when mastered, they become the fuel for your drive, the energy that powers persistence and creativity. The mastery of emotion means creating a space between stimulus and response, between what happens to you and how you choose to act. It means refusing to be a slave to anger, fear, or impatience. Instead, you become the calm center in the storm, the steady hand that guides the ship, no matter how fierce the winds. Finally, the 5th step is the rigorous practice of accurate thinking. Accurate thinking is the relentless pursuit of truth within your own mind. It is the refusal to accept assumptions, excuses, or false beliefs. It is the mental discipline of questioning your thoughts. Is this true? Is this helpful? Does this serve my definite purpose? Without accurate thinking, your mind remains a battlefield of conflicting ideas, rumors, and unexamined fears. With it, your mind becomes a precision instrument, cutting through confusion and focusing on reality. Combine these 5 steps, and you create an unstoppable force within an inner world governed by purpose, discipline, positive influence, calm power, and clarity. Remember, if you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. The mastery of your mind is the single greatest investment you can make. It will multiply every talent, magnify every opportunity, and convert every challenge into triumph. Your journey begins now with the decision to take control. Success is not a matter of luck, it is a matter of mastery. Master your mind, and you will master your destiny. Without a definite purpose, the mind is a rudderless vessel, tossed aimlessly upon the turbulent sea of circumstance. The winds of distraction buffet it this way and that, while the waves of doubt threaten to swallow it whole. But when you possess a definite purpose, a clear and burning reason for your existence, your mind becomes an unshakable fortress, a lighthouse casting unwavering light upon your path through darkness. Definiteness of purpose is not a vague wish nor a fleeting desire. It is a solemn vow, etched deeply into the core of your being, that commands every thought, emotion, and action. It is the bedrock upon which all other mental faculties are built, for the mind without purpose is like a sword without an edge, powerless and easily broken. Consider this: every great man and woman in history, from the titans of industry to the sages of philosophy, have shared one unmistakable trait, a burning definiteness of purpose. It was this inner fire that enabled them to conquer obstacles that would have crushed the uncommitted. It was this clarity that harnessed their emotional energies, tempered their wills, and focused their every effort into relentless forward motion. When you embrace a definite purpose, your mind gains a magnetic force that attracts ideas, opportunities, and allies. Your emotional turbulence settles into a steady current, driving you forward rather than pulling you under. Your ability to detach from distractions strengthens because you see clearly what is worthy of your attention and what is not. Yet, the power of definiteness does not lie merely in having a purpose, but in having one so vivid and compelling that it dominates your mind day and night. It is the mental equivalent of a beacon that calls you from the fog, a constant reminder of why you endure hardship, why you persevere in the face of failure, and why you refuse to settle for less than greatness. To discover your definite purpose, ask yourself penetrating questions. What is the one goal that, if achieved, would transform your life? What cause or achievement ignites passion in your soul? What legacy do you desire to leave upon this earth? The answers to these questions are the compass needles that will guide your mind with unwavering precision. Once you have declared your purpose, you must write it down, commit it to memory, and revisit it daily. This daily reinforcement carves your purpose into the very fabric of your subconscious, where it will serve as the architect of your thoughts and the governor of your emotions. Remember the words of Napoleon Hill himself: "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief only crystallizes when backed by definiteness of purpose. Without it, belief is scattered, weak, and vulnerable." Now, understand that definiteness of purpose naturally cultivates self-discipline, the second pillar, for without a burning reason, the mind's impulses remain untamed and chaotic. When your purpose burns fiercely, discipline is no longer a burdensome task, but an automatic consequence of your desire. Mental discipline is the sovereign law by which your mind is ruled. It is the daily practice of controlling your thoughts, reining in your emotions, and aligning your actions with your purpose. It is the refusal to entertain thoughts of doubt, distraction, or delay. Imagine your mind as a garden. Without discipline, weeds of worry, envy, and confusion choke the vibrant plants of creativity, focus, and confidence. But with discipline, you cultivate the soil daily, uproot the weeds before they take hold, and nurture the seeds of greatness until they bear fruit. Self-discipline demands sacrifice, the sacrifice of fleeting pleasures, the surrender of comfort zones, and the rejection of excuses. It requires that you train your mind like an athlete trains a muscle, through consistent, unyielding effort. Each time you resist the urge to procrastinate, to indulge in negative thoughts, or to succumb to emotional outbursts, you are strengthening this muscle. Over time, this disciplined mind becomes an unbreakable fortress, impervious to the assaults of distraction and despair. Consider the analogy of the smith shaping a blade. Repeated blows of the hammer and steady application of heat are painful and demanding, but they forge a weapon of unmatched strength. So too does self-discipline forge the mind into an instrument of power. And yet, self-discipline alone is insufficient without the mechanism to impress your chosen purpose and attitudes onto the deepest layers of your being. This is the realm of autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the deliberate, conscious practice of planting seeds in the fertile ground of your subconscious. It is the art of repeating affirmations, visualizing success, and saturating your mind with the beliefs that will shape your habits and behaviors. Your subconscious is like a servant. It obeys the dominant thoughts it receives, whether constructive or destructive. Left unattended, it can harbor fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. But when fed with purpose, confidence, and determination, it becomes your most powerful ally. To practice autosuggestion effectively, choose clear, positive statements that affirm your mastery, your calmness, and your persistence. Repeat them with conviction several times daily, especially at moments when your mind is receptive upon waking, before sleep, and during quiet reflection. Remember, autosuggestion is not wishful thinking, but an act of will, a command to your subconscious mind that shapes your reality from the inside out. Mastery over emotion, the fourth pillar, is perhaps the most misunderstood yet most essential step. Many believe that to control emotions means to suppress or deny them. This is a fallacy. True mastery is the power to observe your emotions objectively, to understand their source and purpose, and to choose your response consciously. Emotions are powerful energies, neither inherently good nor bad. When harnessed, they fuel creativity, motivation, and resilience. When uncontrolled, they become destructive forces, clouding judgment and sapping will. The essence of emotional mastery lies in the space between stimulus and response. Within this space resides your freedom, the freedom to act according to your purpose rather than react to impulse. Cultivate this space through practices of mindfulness, reflection, and breathing. When faced with provocation or setback, do not react instantly. Instead, pause. Observe your feelings without judgment. Ask yourself, does this emotion serve my goal? What is the wisest course of action? By doing so, you transform emotional energy into strategic power. You become the calm eye within the storm, the steady hand that directs the ship through turbulent waters. Lastly, accurate thinking is the crown jewel of mental mastery. Accurate thinking is the rigorous examination of your thoughts and beliefs against reality and purpose. It is the rejection of assumptions, exaggerations, and falsehoods that poison the mind. Every thought must be questioned. Is it true? Is it helpful? Does it move me toward my definite purpose? Without this discipline, your mind becomes a battlefield of conflicting ideas, rumors, and fears. With it, your mind becomes a precision instrument, slicing through confusion to grasp truth. This clarity protects you from the paralyzing effects of doubt and deception, whether from within or from external influences. Accurate thinking demands courage, the courage to face uncomfortable truths, to admit error, and to change course when necessary. It is through accurate thinking that you learn to harness your emotional detachment and self-discipline effectively, applying your energies where they yield the greatest return. And so, by embracing these 5 powerful steps, definiteness of purpose, self-discipline, autosuggestion, mastery over emotion, and accurate thinking, you begin the lifelong journey of mastering your mind. This mastery is not an abstract ideal, but a practical necessity. It is the difference between a life led by chance and one led by choice, between mediocrity and greatness, between failure and unstoppable success. If you commit yourself fully to these principles, the outer world will bend before your inner power. Opportunities will find you, challenges will refine you. Your financial future, and indeed every aspect of your life, will transform beyond measure. Remember this: if you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. Your mind is your kingdom. Rule it wisely. Your success begins now. To grasp the profound power of definiteness of purpose, you must first understand its true nature. Purpose is not simply a goal or an ambition. It is a commanding force that breathes life into your thoughts and emotions. It is the very essence of why you rise each day and press onward when all around you falters. Without this vital clarity, your mind becomes a chaotic theater where conflicting desires, fears, and distractions vie for attention. Like a ship without a rudder, you drift aimlessly, vulnerable to the storms of circumstance. But when your purpose is definite, precise, vivid, and deeply felt, it ignites an unquenchable flame that illuminates your path. This fire dissolves hesitation and fuels the iron discipline necessary to master your mind. Reflect on this. The most accomplished individuals throughout history all shared this clarity. From Thomas Edison, who declared his mission to invent the electric light, to Harriet Tubman, who resolved to free the enslaved, their definiteness of purpose was the backbone of their mental fortress. Your purpose must be so clear that it dominates your thoughts, eclipsing distractions and silencing doubts. Write it down in unmistakable terms. Read it aloud each morning and evening until it imprints itself on your subconscious mind. For example, rather than saying, "I want to be successful," declare with conviction, "I will build a business that generates $1 million annually within 5 years." The difference between vagueness and definiteness is the difference between drifting and commanding. Purpose also shapes your emotional landscape. When tested by setbacks or criticism, your definite purpose acts as a shield, deflecting discouragement and maintaining your inner calm. This clarity fosters emotional detachment not from passion, but from disturbance. Yet, be warned, definiteness of purpose alone will not suffice unless coupled with relentless self-discipline. Self-discipline is the daily practice of aligning your actions, thoughts, and emotions with your purpose. It demands that you refuse momentary pleasures or distractions that pull you away from your goals. Mental discipline is built by consistent effort. Every time you choose focus over distraction, patience over impatience, or reason over impulse, you strengthen this vital muscle. To cultivate self-discipline, develop routines and habits that reinforce your purpose. Set aside specific times for study, reflection, and action. Guard these moments jealously as the sacred hours of your transformation. The temptation to procrastinate, indulge in negative thoughts, or yield to emotional impulses is ever present. But recognize these temptations as enemies of your future self. Defeat them with resolute will. Recall Hill's insight. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you do not control what you think, you cannot control what you do. Through this mastery, your mind becomes a fortress. No external turmoil or internal anxiety can breach its walls. The third pillar, autosuggestion, empowers you to program your subconscious mind with the beliefs that will govern your reality. Your subconscious mind does not reason, it obeys. Whatever it believes to be true, it manifests through your habits and attitudes. By consciously repeating affirmations aligned with your definite purpose and emotional mastery, you implant powerful commands deep within your mind. Affirmations such as, I am calm and focused, I act with discipline and clarity, I persist until success is mine, become truths your subconscious cannot ignore. Repeat them daily with feeling and conviction. Visualize the outcome you desire, engage your senses, and truly believe in the possibility of your success. The subconscious, once impressed, organizes your behaviors and thoughts toward making that vision real. This process rewires your mental circuitry, replacing doubt and fear with confidence and purpose. Next, mastery over emotion is the keystone of effective mind control. Emotions are powerful forces that, when unchecked, cause chaos and suffering. But when mastered, they become allies that energize and inspire. Emotional detachment is the practice of observing your feelings without being swept away by them. Between every stimulus and your reaction, there is a space, a moment where choice resides. Cultivate awareness to inhabit this space. When anger arises, breathe and decide not to let it dictate your actions. When fear threatens, observe it and choose courage instead. This mastery transforms emotional storms into steady winds that propel you forward. Your mind becomes a calm lake, reflecting reality with clarity and strength. Finally, the discipline of accurate thinking sharpens your mental sword. Question every thought. Reject assumptions not based on fact. Avoid the trap of wishful thinking or negative bias. Accurate thinking is the practice of seeing situations as they truly are, without distortion. It requires courage to confront uncomfortable truths and humility to adjust beliefs as necessary. With accuracy, your decisions become precise and effective. It protects you from self-deception, wasted effort, and emotional manipulation. Together, these 5 steps form an unbreakable chain that binds your mind to success. The journey to mastery begins with one conscious decision: to govern your mind with clarity, discipline, and purpose. No longer shall you be a victim to emotional chaos or mental distraction. You are now the commander of your thoughts, the master of your emotions, and the architect of your destiny. Stand firm in this truth. Your financial future, your happiness, and your greatness depend on it. The power to transform your life lies within. Seize it now. You have taken the first decisive step to deepen your understanding of definiteness of purpose, the very cornerstone upon which your mind's mastery will be built. Now, let us move with unyielding focus to the second pillar, self-discipline, the iron will that turns purpose into action, and action into unstoppable momentum. Self-discipline is not a trait bestowed by luck or circumstance. It is a habit forged through deliberate and relentless effort. Imagine a sculptor standing before a rough block of marble. Each strike of the chisel is purposeful, disciplined, shaping the chaos of stone into the beauty of form. So too must you chisel away the chaos within your mind, carving it into an instrument of precision and power. This discipline governs not only your actions but your thoughts and emotions. It is the quiet voice in the tempest that says, "Number, I will not be distracted. I will not be derailed. I will hold steady." Without this inner law, your mind wanders like a wild stallion, yielding to every whim of impulse and every gust of emotional turbulence. Consider the battlefield of your daily life. Temptations, fears, doubts, and external pressures bombard you relentlessly. It is self-discipline that builds the fortress walls, each brick laid with each conscious choice to persevere, to focus, and to rise above fleeting pleasures or despair. The practice of self-discipline begins with small victories, the refusal to indulge a negative thought, the choice to work when tired, the decision to remain calm when provoked. Each of these moments, though seemingly insignificant, compounds into a formidable power that governs your mind. Recall the words of Napoleon Hill: "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you do not control what you think, you cannot control what you do." Thus, your inner dialogue must be guarded as zealously as a kingdom's treasury. Create daily rituals that reinforce your discipline. Set aside time each day for focused study, reflection, and purposeful action. Guard these moments as sacred, impervious to interruption or excuse. Through consistency, your mind becomes conditioned, no longer wandering but intentionally directed. Yet, self-discipline is a muscle that tires and weakens without proper nourishment. Feed it with purpose and autosuggestion. Autosuggestion, the third pillar, is the bridge between conscious intention and subconscious action. Your subconscious mind, vast and powerful, is the silent governor of your habits and responses. It accepts without question the dominant thoughts impressed upon it. To harness autosuggestion, you must engage in repeated deliberate affirmation of your purpose and mastery. These are not idle words, but commands to your subconscious. Repeat daily, I am master of my thoughts and emotions. I act with calm determination. My purpose guides me unerringly. Speak these words with feeling, conviction, and faith. Visualize your success vividly. See yourself calm in adversity, disciplined in action, persistent in pursuit. Feel the emotions of victory and mastery as though they are already yours. This floods your subconscious with the unmistakable signal of certainty. Over time, your subconscious mind reorganizes your mental habits, aligning your actions with your consciously chosen purpose and emotional control. The fourth pillar, mastery over emotion, is the linchpin that holds this entire system together. Emotions, by their nature, are neither good nor evil. They are powerful energies that, when unmastered, become destructive storms. But when mastered, they become the fuel for your will and creativity. Emotional detachment does not mean apathy or coldness. It means standing apart from your feelings with the steady gaze of a commander surveying the battlefield, observing without being overwhelmed. Between stimulus and response lies a sacred space, the space of choice. Cultivate the habit of entering this space through mindfulness, breath, and reflection. When anger, fear, or anxiety arise, do not immediately react. Instead, pause. Recognize the emotion, understand its origin, and choose a response aligned with your purpose. This practice transforms emotional chaos into strategic power. Your mind becomes a calm lake, reflecting reality with clarity, rather than a turbulent sea engulfing all reason. Lastly, accurate thinking. The fifth pillar is the discipline of rigorous mental clarity. Question your thoughts relentlessly. Distinguish facts from opinions, truth from assumption, useful beliefs from falsehoods. By thinking accurately, you cut through confusion and indecision. You protect yourself from the paralyzing effects of doubt and deception. This intellectual rigor is not cold skepticism, but courageous clarity. It requires humility to admit error and wisdom to change course. Combined, these 5 steps forge a mind of extraordinary power. Focused, disciplined, positively programmed, emotionally steady, and truth-centered. The journey will test you. The struggle to master your mind is ongoing and demanding. Yet, every moment you exercise this mastery, you claim your future. Never forget, if you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. Stand now as the commander of your inner world. Let no distractions sway you. Let no fear deter you. Let your definite purpose blaze the path. Master yourself, and the world will yield before your will. Your financial future, your happiness, your destiny await your command. Seize it with unwavering resolve. You stand now on the precipice of transformation, fully engaged with the essential principles that will unlock the mastery of your mind. Let us now delve deeper into the practical essence of definiteness of purpose, for it is not enough to merely understand it intellectually. You must embody it with relentless passion and precision. A definite purpose acts as the gravitational center of your mental universe. Without it, your thoughts scatter like cosmic dust, aimless, weak, and ineffective. With it, your mind becomes a powerful engine, drawing every resource, idea, and opportunity toward a singular point of focused energy. To solidify this purpose, you must articulate it with exactness. Do not settle for generalities. Declare not, I want to be wealthy, but I will accumulate specific amount of wealth by specific time, through specific means. The mind thrives on clarity and specificity. It is these that ignite the will and galvanize action. Write your purpose in detail. Place it where your eyes can see it multiple times daily. Let it be the first thought upon waking and the last before sleep. Through such repetition, you feed it to your subconscious mind, the silent architect of your reality. But clarity alone will not carry you forward. You must link it with emotional intensity. Purpose without passion is a flickering candle. Purpose with passion is an unyielding flame. The intensity of your desire determines the strength of your mental discipline. Each morning, as you revisit your purpose, summon the feelings of achievement, pride, and fulfillment as if you already possess the outcome. This emotional rehearsal convinces your subconscious of the inevitability of your success. Now, transition your focus to self-discipline. This is the daily exercise of aligning your will with your purpose. It demands consistency in thought and deed, often in the face of resistance and temptation. Begin by setting firm boundaries. Designate fixed periods for work, learning, and reflection. Eliminate distractions during these times. The modern world offers endless diversions, social media, entertainment, idle chatter that erode discipline. Recognize these as enemies to be guarded against. Develop small but powerful habits. Rising early, exercising your body, reading focused materials, journaling your progress, and meditating on your purpose. These habits compound, forging a mind increasingly immune to distraction and emotional upheaval. Yet, discipline is not mere rigidness. It is flexibility under control, the ability to adapt while remaining anchored to purpose. When obstacles arise, you adjust methods, not goals. When fatigue beckons, you summon reserves of resolve. This mental fortitude, cultivated daily, prepares you to harness the power of autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the process by which you program your subconscious through deliberate affirmation. The subconscious mind is a powerful servant but a poor master. It will enact the beliefs you impress upon it, whether empowering or debilitating. Craft affirmations that resonate deeply with your purpose and emotional mastery. Examples include, I am calm, focused, and disciplined. My mind is unwavering in pursuit of my definite purpose. Every challenge strengthens my resolve and clarity. Repeat these affirmations multiple times daily, especially during times of calm and reflection. Engage your emotions fully as you speak them. The subconscious responds most strongly to emotional conviction. Coupled with visualization, where you see and feel yourself living your success, autosuggestion becomes a potent alchemy that transforms intention into reality. The journey now leads us to mastery over emotion, the art that distinguishes the truly great from the merely talented. Understand that emotions are raw energies, neither good nor bad. Their power lies in their direction and control. Left untamed, they become destructive tempests. When mastered, they fuel extraordinary creativity, courage, and persistence. Cultivate the habit of observing emotions without judgment or immediate reaction. When anger, fear, or anxiety rise, step back mentally. Label the emotion, trace its origin, and choose a deliberate response aligned with your purpose. Breathing techniques, meditation, and mindfulness practices develop this emotional awareness. Over time, you build an internal reservoir of calm from which you draw strength in adversity. Remember, between stimulus and response lies the domain of freedom, the sacred moment where choice resides. Harness this moment as your greatest power. Finally, embrace accurate thinking, the discipline of thinking clearly, logically, and truthfully. Question your beliefs and assumptions relentlessly. Distinguish facts from opinions, truths from fears, helpful thoughts from harmful ones. This mental rigor protects you from self-deception and emotional manipulation. It clears the fog of confusion and grounds your decisions in reality. Develop this skill through continual learning, critical reflection, and seeking honest feedback. Together, these 5 pillars form a fortress of mental mastery. As you build this fortress, external challenges lose their power to sway or defeat you. Your mind becomes a compass and an anchor, a sword and a shield. The path to unstoppable success is not a mystery but a discipline, a daily practice of commanding your thoughts, emotions, and actions with clarity and purpose. Remember this solemn truth. If you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. Take the reins now. Declare your definite purpose. Forge your discipline. Program your subconscious. Master your emotions. Think accurately. Stand firm as the sovereign of your inner kingdom. Your financial future, your legacy, your life await your command. Your journey toward mastery now requires not only understanding these principles, but living them with unwavering commitment. The path is arduous, and the tests relentless, but the rewards are unparalleled. A mind so disciplined, so clear, and so calm that it becomes the architect of your destiny. Let us now explore how to transform each principle from concept into daily practice, forging habits that build mental strength and emotional resilience. First, deepen your definiteness of purpose by crafting a purpose statement, a clear, concise declaration of what you intend to achieve, why it matters, and by when. Write it as if it is already accomplished, using present tense language. For example, I am a financially free entrepreneur generating $1 million annually by December 2029. Oh, place the statement where it confronts you each morning and night. Read it aloud with conviction, feeling the emotions tied to that success. This repetition impresses your subconscious mind and aligns your daily actions with this objective. Second, develop your self-discipline through structured routines. Begin with small, measurable commitments. Wake early daily. Set focused work blocks without distractions. Practice brief moments of mindfulness or meditation to center your thoughts. Track these habits diligently, for measurement builds accountability. When temptation arises, procrastination, negative thoughts, distractions, pause. Remind yourself of your purpose and the cost of indulgence. Strengthen your mental muscle by choosing action over avoidance, focus over fragmentation. Third, harness autosuggestion by creating personalized affirmations tied to your purpose and emotional mastery. Repeat these affirmations during receptive moments, upon waking, before sleep, or during quiet reflection. Visualize yourself embodying these truths, calm, focused, relentless. Allow your subconscious to absorb these beliefs, reshaping your mental landscape from the roots upward. Remember, belief born of repetition and emotion becomes habit and then reality. Fourth, practice mastery over emotion daily by cultivating awareness. When you encounter emotional disturbances, breathe deeply and mentally step back. Label the emotion without judgment. Ask, what does this feeling want to tell me? Does it serve my purpose? Then choose your response deliberately. Over time, this creates a spaciousness between impulse and action, the sanctuary of freedom within your mind. Techniques like journaling your emotional experiences, meditation, or even brief pauses before reacting cultivate this mastery. Each moment you choose calm over chaos, you build resilience. Fifth, sharpen accurate thinking by questioning every assumption. When faced with a thought, I can't do this, or I'm not ready, stop and investigate. Is this true? What evidence supports or contradicts this? What is the most logical conclusion? Seek knowledge relentlessly. Surround yourself with truth-tellers and mentors. Engage in reading, reflection, and honest self-assessment. Accurate thinking dissolves illusions and clarifies your path. By integrating these practices, you will feel your mind evolve, becoming a fortress against distraction, a beacon of calm in adversity, and a magnet for opportunity. Never forget, your greatest battles are fought within. Master these, and the external world will bend before your will. As Napoleon Hill said, the man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid for more than he does. Mental mastery is the currency of those who earn the highest dividends in life. Stand now in your power. Command your mind. Shape your destiny. The future belongs to the masters of their own thoughts. Will you be among them? The choice is yours. Now hear me clearly, for this is the moment that separates the dreamers from the doers, the weak from the warriors of the mind. The mastery you seek is not a gentle path, nor a quiet whisper in the night. It is a roaring fire, a relentless storm, a calling so fierce it demands your total surrender and unyielding commitment. You must rise beyond the petty distractions, the fleeting pleasures, the doubts that claw at your resolve. You must become the unshakable force, A mind forged in the crucible of discipline, sharpened by the blade of purpose, and fueled by the unstoppable engine of persistent action. This is the war for your future, fought every moment in the depths of your soul. Victory belongs not to those who wish, but to those who fight, not to those who wait, but to those who seize. The man or woman who commands their mind commands the very fabric of reality. Visualize it now. Your mind, a fortress of calm power, standing tall against the storms of fear, anger, and doubt. Your thoughts, precise and unbreakable, striking like lightning to forge your destiny. Your emotions, once wild and chaotic, now harnessed as the fiercest allies in your quest for greatness. No obstacle is too great, no challenge too daunting, no failure too final. Because you have learned the secret. Mastery over self is mastery over all. The world may tremble, fortunes may rise and fall, but your mind, your fortress, remains invincible. This is the source of unstoppable success, the origin of true wealth. Make this decision now. Not tomorrow, not when the stars align, but this instant. Declare your sovereignty over your thoughts, your emotions, your destiny. Claim the power that has always been yours, but too often surrendered. Let your mind blaze with the fire of definiteness, discipline, and clarity. Let your heart beat steady with the rhythm of relentless purpose. Let your spirit soar free from the chains of chaos and confusion. This is your hour. This is your battlefield. This is your destiny forged in the fires of mental mastery. Rise now. Seize the reins of your inner world with fierce determination. Command your mind and change your financial future forever. The power is in your hands. The time is now. Make it count.